Denver 7, Colorado Avalanche, Avs in 4.
Nichushkin with it for Koski. He scores! Andre with a giant goal!
A sweet Avs victory in overtime sounds glorious in any language.
Y aquí viene el disparo, otra vez el disparo, gol!
With Game 1 in the bag, how is Colorado getting prepared for Game 2?
It was like shoulder to shoulder, everywhere was crowded.
There were a few lines. We're actually going to double our team that's going to support our fans on Saturday.
We're going in-depth on the aftermath of Game 1 and the plans looking ahead to the rest of the Stanley Cup Series.
I would call it a perfect night.
And some disappointment in the Mile High City. Denver will not host a venue for the 2026 World Cup.
Obviously, disappointment, not the outcome we wanted.
Good evening. Thanks very much for joining us at 6. I'm Shannon Ogden.
I'm Andrea. Good to be back in the studio, but I have to tell you, last night it was so exciting to be inside for the game, anchoring outside Ball Arena to cheer on the Avs. The enthusiasm, so contagious.
And I get to be there on Saturday for Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final, which of course airs right here on Denver 7. First though, tonight we have real heat moving into the Metro.
Yeah, it's a little early in the season to be talking this kind of heat. Denver will be under a heat advisory for tomorrow. Meteorologist Stacey Donaldson is joining us to tell us about this on this Weather Action Day.
That's right. We've issued a Weather Action Day for tomorrow because it will be even warmer than it was today. 94 officially here in Denver this afternoon with 90s all across eastern Colorado. And we have this heat advisory in effect for the metro area all across the eastern plains for temperatures near 100 and slightly above. So tomorrow our record afternoon high is 100. That was set just last year in 2021, but tomorrow we'll have those highs in the upper 90s and low 100s here for the Front Range and the Eastern Plains, upper 90s for southeastern Colorado as well, with even some 80s and 90s for the higher elevation. So we have this heat wave coming through at least for a day, but I'll have your weekend forecast, let you know whether or not this heat will stick around for Saturday and Sunday as well in a few minutes.
All right, we'll see you in a few minutes then. So back to that incredible win last night for the Avs, Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals.
We have team coverage tonight from how bars and restaurants fared with the crowds and how the city handled the first game of the championship series. So first, though, let us talk about that amazing win.
Denver 7's Nick Rothschild is in the studio tonight. Nick, Avs fans are going to love this. Nazem Kadri and Andrew Cogliano back practicing on the ice today.
Word for the wise, Shannon, earplugs or earmuffs when you come on Saturday.
Thank you.
My head's still ringing. Yeah, never has a hockey player skating with a hockey stick ever been such big news. Yesterday we saw Kadri and Cogs doing laps around the ice, but Kadri was still stickless as he recovers from thumb surgery. But today, thanks to our friends at Sportsnet Canada, we saw Kadri gliding around that beautiful Ball Arena surface, stick in hand, looking like he's ready to do that hockey. Now, keep in mind, this is Naz on the ice by himself going through drills with a stick for the first time. So we're not going to see him in Game 2, maybe not even in Tampa Bay at all for Games 3 and 4, but he's closer than I think a lot of us expected. And in his absence, the Avs' big guns are holding down the fort.
We talk about it all the time. Your best players have to sort of lead the charge, and obviously everyone's excited for the start of the game, and for those guys to go out and have the start they did. And I thought they had a great night. All three of those guys played really well, and then together and apart. So, but we certainly need that. You need it moving forward. Those guys have to be a difference maker in the series.
The heavy hitters trio of McKinnon, Landeskog, and Mikko Rantanen was +3 last night and totaled 5 points between them. Add in 2 points for top liner Valeri Nichushkin, and I think Jared Bednar was extremely pleased with how his big boys started off the Stanley Cup Finals. Conversely, the Avs did a nice job neutralizing Tampa's best players. The only guy on the ice that registered a positive plus-minus was Alex Killorn, and the trio of Kucherov, Point, and Stamkos all scored a big old 0. So while we know the Avs' depth is their strength, the superstars are driving this bus, and they are now 3 wins away from hoisting Lord Stanley's Cup. And speaking of superstars, ladies and gentlemen, Shannon Ogden.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much, Nick. So right outside of Ball Arena, the Tivoli Quad just packed with fans last night. 5,600 of them passed through the gates at last night's watch party. Organizers are expecting 10,000 there this weekend. Denver 7's Russell Haythorne talking to watch party organizers about lessons learned in Game 1 and what will look different for Game 2.
Organizers say the biggest issue from last night's watch party was confusion amongst some fans about how to enter. There is only one entry point for safety and security purposes. It's at the southwest corner of the Tivoli Quad near the historic Tivoli building. Basically, just look for the huge flagpoles and go there. Crews are also adding more signage today. Huge Stanley Cup banners going up on the stage at the front of the quad for the second watch party coming up this Saturday. Stage supervisor Bill Huff says they didn't have a single issue last night with unruly fans.
Colorado's representing us very well. Last night was electric. Tons of people here, great atmosphere.
We want the cup!
I would call it a perfect night.
The watch party last night was a tremendous success.
Auraria campus CEO Colleen Walker says while it was a success, there were some long lines at the beer and drink tents. So they'll be beefing up staff to accommodate a huge weekend crowd.
We want to ensure that the fan experience is the best it can be, and so we are entirely focused on serving their needs. We will have water, soda, beer. There were a few lines. We're actually going to double our team that's going to support our fans on Saturday.
Fans certainly enjoyed the party and loved the outcome of the game.
Tampa's a great team. We got everything it takes this year.
We have pretty good solid all four lines. I think we're going to do really well this year. Our defense is really strong. Got great goalies. I think we're going to get it.
The idea this weekend, work on perfecting what's already been a success, adding patrols around Ball Arena and the watch party, and the addition of a concert by American DJ Grizz starting at 3 o'clock Saturday afternoon.
The National Hockey League is putting on a free concert, live concert, right here on the Tivoli Quad before the watch party. This is the perfect spot in the city to host the Stanley Cup Finals.
So that idea of adding servers should certainly alleviate the lines here at the beer tents. But again, get here early. They're capping the crowd at 10,000 people. On the Auraria campus, I'm Russell Haythorne, Denver 7.
All right, Russell, and Tivoli Quad isn't the only place beefing up staffing for this weekend's game, too.
Well, we discovered plenty of bars and restaurants downtown really struggled to keep up with those large crowds, and some of them spoke with Denver 7's Bayan Wang, who joins us live.
And Bayan, now those places are making sure they are better prepared for Saturday.
Yeah, Shannon and Ann, they really are. I mean, just for perspective here, the Union Station area is slowly picking up right now, but nothing compared to yesterday. We're talking about major crowds filling the streets here, shoulder to shoulder, going to all the restaurants and bars nearby, and I spoke to a lot of those establishments who told me they really need some help.
It's created an incredible amount of traffic that's come down to this area.
And that means the Crawford Hotel at Union Station is inching toward capacity.
We're extremely full.
So are all the restaurants and bars across downtown for Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final. Establishments like Venice Ristorante and Wine Bar saw huge numbers.
We did about $20,000. Usually we do 12, 13,000. Almost double, yeah, 50 to 70%.
But that came with some struggle.
We are scheduling everybody at 6 days. We are pulling a couple servers from the Venice in Greenwood Village.
Alessandro Carollo has been short-staffed for some time now.
We need servers, bartender, back of the house, people, kitchen.
Without them, Carollo hasn't been able to capitalize the way he's used to.
The challenges are like right now, especially during this Avalanche finals, there are a lot of people outside. I would like to open for lunch.
Carollo isn't alone. Restaurants like Jinya Ramen next door had their own struggles.
It was like shoulder to shoulder. Everywhere was crowded. From all the tables was kind of full. The bar was full. We couldn't take it no more inside, and we didn't have enough service to go outside, so we didn't have outside that night.
In the week leading up to Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final, more than 200 restaurant positions were advertised on Craigslist. In a statement to Denver 7, the Colorado Restaurant Association said in part, 8 out of 10 operators tell us they are understaffed. And with the Avs games driving more business to restaurants and bars, the situation is compounded.
We do the best as we can. We try to stay open late. But, you know, it's been a struggle.
And unfortunately, that struggle is going to continue for some of these establishments here, but we're going to have many more packed nights here for the Stanley Final games. And, you know, just to be clear, these establishments, they're welcoming everyone in. They want the crowds, they want the heat, they want the Avs to win, they want to provide a great atmosphere for everyone. They're just asking patrons to be patient with them. Back to you guys.
Patience is key, that's for sure. All right, Brian, thank you. So with one win down, the Avs have just 3 wins to go before they can secure the Stanley Cup. Here's a look at the rest of the schedule for the championship series. So the next game, as you know, is this Saturday. You can watch it right here on Denver 7. Our pregame show will start at 5:30 with ABC's coverage beginning at 6. And our postgame show will begin right after the game. And you can watch it all right here on Denver 7.
And there are just under 2 hours left to bid on all of these warm-up Avs jerseys signed by the players from round 1 of the playoffs. There are a few other things up for auction as well.
Also, pucks, goal pucks from that memorable game number 1 versus Nashville, where 7 goals were scored.
Also, you can bid on this custom jean jacket designed by a member of the Avs Better Halves, the wives and girlfriends of Avs players. All the proceeds go to charity, and the auction closes at 8 o'clock tonight. You can find it by searching online Kroenke Sports Charities. And before we wrap up our Avs coverage tonight, we really wanted to share with you this little girl we found leaving the game last night.
Our Rob Harris caught up with Zelda and her dad as they walked out of Ball Arena.
Zelda, tell me what your costume is.
Well, it's a Stanley Cup. My dad made it for me because it's my first Stanley Cup playoff final game, and I'm just like a Stanley Cup, so I could be on the Jumbotron and have some fun and show everyone. And I also lost a tooth.
You lost a tooth and you got to dress up as the Stanley Cup? Zelda, can I get a high five for that? That is awesome. Was it a good game?
Yeah.
Are you ready to watch the rest of the games?
She has it down, doesn't she? And listen, we'd love to talk with Zelda again and really ask the important questions like, did she lose her tooth during the game? So if you know Zelda, you know her family, please reach out to us at newstips@thedenverchannel.com. We have questions for her. Nice work out there. All right, thank goodness we have the Avalanche and the Stanley Cup final to cheer us up, because today we found out that Denver will not be a host venue for the 2026 World Cup games.
Yeah, we were at Tom's Watch Bar in McGregor Square and watched his disappointed fans learn the news live.
I think maybe just at the end of the day, there was just some factors that we didn't have any control of, maybe that contributed to the result today. It's not the outcome we wanted, but of course, we congratulate all the other cities that are going to be a part of the tournament.
So these are the 16 cities that were chosen instead of Denver, which was among the 22 finalists. The other U.S. finalists that did make the cut: Washington, Nashville, Cincinnati, and Orlando. Denver's bid featured Empower Field as a possible venue for the games. The 2026 World Cup will be the first to include teams from 48 nations and is the first to be staged across 3 countries: the U.S., Mexico, and Canada.
That even though people don't have an opponent, they still have to garner at least a vote.
Not a whole lot of candidates to choose from, but your vote still matters.
The Colorado primary ballot may look slim. Why your selections can still make a big impact.
Yes, your vote counts.
Plus, get ready for the heat.
A heat advisory in effect for Friday afternoon for temperatures near 100 degrees. I'll let you know if this heat will last throughout the weekend.